work I do, I feel like I do a little different than most people, and I do it in a different category where I don't look at it like this. I hate to say it, like I don't look at it like competitive dressage, because I'm competitive, and what I get in the end are horses that can compete with everybody else, almost better and more so, because the training's so correct. I can take something that's way more average, put such correct training in it, that in the end, it can compete with the above average. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I say when you really learn to do things like that, walk canter like that, or just little pieces, you're so far ahead in the long run of what you can produce. So where I kind of look at that though is I go, yeah, I mean, that's only 5 strides at the canter, especially the last one. Like somebody else will be going, okay, come on, you got to get going. You got to test next. You got to get your flying changes, your pirouettes, all of that. So they go, that's not very good work. But I look at it like my job is to take his body like a personal trainer and make it better, right? Not take his body and what it already does or knows how to do and exploit. Does that make sense? The difference. Yeah. Okay, take him up just a couple this way. Now again, like that amount of pressure you're putting on his hind legs is a lot. He can do it physically, like you're not going to break him. He won't let you, older horses, or he won't let you break him. You know what I mean? He'll be self-protective enough. Now, like in the sense that he'll just get too strong to hold in that shape, right? Like you won't be able to hold him on his hind legs past the point of his hind legs getting tired with his temperament. You know what I mean? So I don't worry about the physical aspect. Plus, this is still low impact. Right? You're sitting him on his butt, but you're not making him hold it for long. You're making him lift a heavy weight, put it down, and take a breather. And do it again and put it down and take a breather. But with that work, slow, no charging. Good. Back. With that work, the pressure you're putting on makes him intense. Like his brain, good. His brain is thinking and boiling, right? He's doing something that his body doesn't naturally want to do or temperamentally want to do. So you can, by doing that, you can create a horse that's getting stronger. Like I said yesterday, he got stronger before he got lighter. So you can sometimes make it a little worse. But what you're looking for are the moments, like I said, that when you do pick up the canter and you get those couple of strides, excellent. Mm-hmm. How light is he right there, right? That's telling me that even though I might be making him a little strong now and then, or increasing intensity, I'm creating the right feeling.
Right.
So when the intensity aspect of me putting him in this place that he doesn't want to go, doesn't like, is too strong, too weak for, whatever it is that gets stronger and he temperamentally gets used to it, it becomes comfort zone. If that's comfort zone, there's no nervous energy with it. So that bleeds off. And what I'm left with is the great. Feel it, right? Like if you cook with wine, right? There's no wine left afterwards in the soup. What's left is just kind of the essence, that little bit of flavor. Nice. Good. Same feel. You burn off, right? The alcohol, so to speak, or you burn off the negative and you're just left with that little essence. Good. Take time. Hold them a little back. Charging. Good. Not on his toes. Really wait till he's flat-footed. Teeny bit rounder in the pole, just that wiggle on the bit. Outside rein as well. No charging. Tick him at him. There. That would be a good moment. Perfect. Could you feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that moment you could feel because his body got soft, the bend was there, and it was like he was inviting you to engage his left hind leg to start the canter. He wasn't on his toes, and that hind leg then just swung under and his pelvis tilted. The croup changed its angles or shape, and the angles in the hind leg changed for the better. Good. You caught that because he was about to surge, right? That was good. You waited a stride. Nice. And then over time, it's like if I get him so used to me being able to just tickle him with the walk, at the whip, getting the right response, you could do the same in the canter. The moment he starts to lose the feeling of being connected under, carrying, and light. I mean, light is a relative term for him, right?
Yeah.
Meaning like, I might not have him light like a feather in my fingers, but light feeling off of his forehand with his body rolled back on his hind legs, right? In collection. There's also light like the brainwashing with the releasing that we're talking about. The light that you're getting should be the light on the forehand because you're sitting him down. Meanwhile, you should still be brainwashing the light in the rein feeling. Does that make sense on the difference? Yeah. But if he's feeling like he's starting to tip off the hind leg in the canter, but he's understanding that transition or the half steps or that use of the whip, then you start to incorporate in the canter as well. And you're starting to create a different dialogue. One that says, I get you light by engaging your hind legs versus doing more with my hand. It's not a tug of war, pull you back. It's engage you under. Good. Just one more. Slow. Good. Nice. Good. See if you can get away with a little tickle. Perfect. Good. And you just ask yourself, did he get light or get heavier from it? You know what I mean? Good. And a long rein again. Super. And again, I go, if I tickle him and he got lighter, great response. Now again, I might tickle him and there's some intensity and he gets a little, you hit me. But his balance got better and lighter, meaning the forehand came up. That's still a correct response. I just have to brainwash in that it doesn't go into my hand, releasing. And I have to just quietly do it where I go, don't get worried that I touched you. So again, comfort zone. The more I do it, the less worried he's gonna get. That was great. All makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of work, like, I mean, I say that with my young horses a lot. You know, my young one right now, she just turned 4. She's getting some really good collected canter moments. She does her walk canters quite well now. I mean, for a 4-year-old, very well. She's already starting to do a little hunches in the canter. I'm not like spiraling in for pirouettes, but at 4, I'm already going, huh. She got the concept. She half-passed her the other day in the trot. I don't put any pressure on that horse. But at 4, if she'd do the flying change, I could ride her through a 3rd level test already. I don't put any pressure on her though. And I wouldn't ride her through a 3rd level test. Because if her body wasn't right, she doesn't have a knowledge base for me to be able to correct her. You know, I have to reset. I have to come back to walk, talk her through it, stretch her, give her a break. Like, it's just playful. But I look at her progress right now and I go, man, by the time this horse is 5.5, she's going to do a pre-St. George test. I put no pressure on. I can ride her with the reins in one hand, she stays on the bit, walk, trot, canter. The only pressure I put on is she's lazy, so she does get a welt on her every once in a while for not going forward, but not because she won't collect enough. Yeah. Just because I said trot, canter, and you didn't react fast enough, kind of idea. But I find with the horses, like when you go so slow, just going, get the concept, get the concept, get the concept, get the concept. They learn pirouettes, piaffe work, flying changes, piaffe work. Those are all just 4 concepts put together in one momentary burst. But when the horse's body knows these little pieces so well, the movements are so easy to train. It's almost a joke to me sometimes at how easy some of these things are to train horses to do. But if they don't understand the concepts, then it's like rocket science trying to figure it out. And then it's fighting. Then it's fight, battle. You know, I said that yesterday, like I can look at the horses sometimes and go, I just see the physics a lot of times behind it. Like they lose their horse form and I just see all the joints and the things. Partially also, again, looking at the temperament, going if I can get a read on the temperament. Because that plays a role. Like I said with him, I'm not going to trot halt him sharp. I'm going to trot walk him calmly. Right? That's temperament, not confirmation. I'd love to trot halt him, but you know, I have to keep the temperament in mind. But it then just becomes these like little trick things that it's so easy to manipulate them if they get the right concepts. And so often people will be battling and fighting these things where I go, if you could actually just, like if you could have x-ray vision and see what I see, I mean, I don't think I'm the only one that sees it, but I know it's not normal that everybody sees it. If you could just have x-ray vision and see what I'm seeing right now, you wouldn't be picking them. You wouldn't be praising him. You wouldn't be halting him.